Woohoo!
Don't move.
We did it!
Don't move. Don't do anything differently. Okay, can you already see why I love this girl so much? She never gives up, and thank you.
I've tried so many things, Leigh. Literally, the last 14 minutes, I've been like looking on the internet, how to join a Facebook Live, what's going on in my life, why can't I? We did it. Well done, Patty. Thank you, Leigh.
All right, we're going to get right to it. I want to talk to you about everything that's going on. So the last time that I spoke with you, you were still in northern Spain, and I just wanted to give everyone an update. So you started in Finnis. She walked backwards on the Camino, and she's on her way to Jerusalem. So how many kilometers have you walked so far as of today?
So many. I've already done 1,400 kilometers.
1,400 kilometers. All right, team, how many miles is that? I don't know. We're going to translate that for everybody. And how many? 340, 340 miles.
800.
Oh, 840 miles. So for our U.S. listeners, 840 miles. And how many in kilometers? 1,340?
I've done
1,400
kilometers, yes.
Wow. Okay, so how many days have you been walking in total?
So 2 months and 17 days, I think.
2 months and 17 days. All right, I got to ask you, what are you missing from home? Is there anything that you're like, I wish I could have this food, or is there something in your house that you're missing? That's a long time that you've been gone from home.
I would say that not so like things are not the what I'm missing. Like I'm missing my bed, or that's not something that I'm missing. I'm missing obviously my people. That's the first thing that so I miss my people. I miss the moments like going for a beer with friends. Those are the things that I truly miss. But according to things, no, not that.
So no things, just the people. I think the last time we talked, it was right after your grandma's birthday, and you did a special shout out to her. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to tonight that you want to say hi to that maybe is at home or is maybe watching?
So I'm sure that my mom is on because she never misses anything that I do, and I've seen her somewhere around there. So she's like my like #1 follower. So she's always there.
Is your mom Carolina?
That's her.
I think I accidentally brought your mom on the live a few minutes ago. So hi to Carlota's mom, Carolina. We're so glad that you're on. Hola, Carolina. Okay, so I want to find out, first off, we talked a little bit earlier and you were going to show your backpack. So let's show everyone what kind of backpack somebody carries for over 2 months.
This is my little baby.
This is your little baby. Look at that. Okay. All right. That's a nice looking backpack. Like, hold it up a little higher so we can see how big it is. Okay. How many liters is that?
It's according to liters, it's like 40. Let me see if it says somewhere, but it was like 40 something. Yeah. It's written somewhere, but I don't know. But this is my little baby that I carry every.
Don't we become affectionate about our backpacks? Right? Okay, so show us something in the bag. What's a show and tell item? I asked Carlota earlier to do a show and tell, and apparently in Spain you don't do show and tell the way we do in the US. So she's like, no. What do you mean? So I explained a show and tell is that you bring something to show the other students in your class, something fun, something funny. So what's your show and tell item for us tonight?
So I just got it out before having the Facebook Live so that I can show you. But this is like my life, my notebook. So this is literally like where, you know, I sometimes think that I'm not going to be able to like understand everything that's going on because there's so many things going on throughout this Camino and everything. So I note everything down. so that I can, afterwards go back and understand. But for example, I make some drawings on my little notebook and things like that, or I keep a dry flower. Well,
can you show us a couple of pages? Like from a distance. I didn't know you were an artist too.
I'm not at all, but I drive some. There's some little drawings. Like this is a really cute one.
Oh, that's darling. That's darling. So tell us about what your process is like each day. So you obviously are doing a lot of journaling. Is that something you do at night when you arrive, or what's it like for you each day? Describe a typical day.
So there's no day that's similar to another one, because each day is an adventure, and the adventure has gone like more and more throughout the days. And now in France, most of the days I don't even know where I'm gonna sleep that day. So it's like a huge adventure. So my day starts with a breakfast. I have really good breakfast because I normally stay with families. So I have breakfast with them. I have coffee and whatever they have, whatever they take, that's what I take for breakfast. And then I start working before 9, in 30 and 9, and then I walk around 20 kilometers per day. And while walking, I make some pauses. So I take some water. I have my water bottle just behind the phone so that it stands up. I was looking for my water. I stop water. I have some dry fruits, some fruit, and then I just walk, and then I arrive to my destiny for that day, and I either look for a place to stay, or just, if I already know who I'm staying with, then I be with them. If I haven't had lunch, I have lunch with them, and then we spend the afternoon together. I get a shower. That's really important. And then
yes,
I write in my little journal, and I also read in this beautiful ebook that I have 106 books, just in case.
You have 106 books on there. How many books have you read during your pilgrimage?
4.
Okay, wow. All right. And what kind of things are you reading?
I always read 2 books at the same time, a novel and a spiritual or like theoretical book. And right now I'm reading Vargas Llosa. He's a Nobel Prize winner author, and at the same time I'm reading San Juan de la Cruz. He's a mystic. He was a priest, and he's a mystic that I really admire. So that's what I'm reading right now.
Very nice. And so do you do your journaling then in the evening before bed? Is that the main time? Okay, so I'm curious, the last time we spoke, and of course you're Spanish, and you were in Spain the last time that we spoke. You were kind of near the very end of your time in Spain, and then you arrived in France. So I'm wondering if you could kind of compare and contrast the difference between walking on the Camino in Spain versus where you're walking now in France. What has been different?
Everything. So the path has changed, because although I'm following the Camino, the way of Arles, it's called the Camino that I'm following right now, it doesn't very much look like, because the roads, it has no signals. Some parts are like not highways, but like roads with cars. Others are just forests, and can't really see if it's going that way or that way. So the GPS part is a bit harder than it was in Spain. And the people are very different, very, very, very different, because, well, I guess that culture and language make a huge difference, because when I was in Spain, it was my own language. I knew many people, or that knew people. Here, I'm not with friends of friends of friends. I'm just like with people that I don't know at all. So it changed very much.
Well, you were becoming a wee bit of a celebrity in Spain there for a while, right? So many people, I think really your story resonates with so many Spaniards and so many people that love the Camino in Spain. And so I guess that is a little bit different. Have you been getting as many volunteers offering you accommodations and lodging at night? Because in Spain, you were having all kinds of people volunteer up homes to you. Has that continued, or are you finding you have to rent places? What's that been like?
So it changed completely. Now it's not that many people volunteering, although there's many people that email me or message me through Instagram. But like, the people knew me more or less in Spain, or I could share my story. And here, people don't use Instagram. So like, even if I tell them who I am, don't really know my story and everything. So how I'm finding places here is more of the bouche oreille. That's how it's called here. Like, I don't know in English. In Spanish, it's like mouth to mouth. So I stay with some.
We'd say by word of mouth or something. Yeah.
So if I stay with a family today, it's them who sit down with me, look at my itinerary, and then say, "Oh, I know someone here and here." So it's like contact of people that I've been staying at their place.
Okay. Hey, I wanted to give everyone a chat. So everyone that's currently watching, if you have a question for Carlota, please put them in the comments and I will ask that question for you. So if you have a question, any question at all, and of course she always has the right to not answer, but if you have a question, please give us a question. So I want to ask you, Carlota, you have walked a lot of kilometers. What has been the hardest day for you physically since you've started your walk, and why?
It was my second day, the hardest one with friends for the others, because my first day was a really good day. Everything was very easy. It was a sunny day. When the place that I arrived, where people welcomed me, so it was like amazing day. And my second day, it was rainy, windy. I lost myself like 7 times. So that was like, this is real life. So you're gonna get lost. You have to learn your route before starting walking. So that was a huge learning from me. And from the second day onwards, I prepare my routes better. I look at like more or less where it's going, how if it's steep or not, and I work a little bit more than I did the second day. So that was by far the most difficult day for me up till now. But I've had really hard days as well. I have amazing days and I have really bad days as well. This is life.
This is life, is it not? So I know the last time that we were talking, you were starting to have some shoulder pain, maybe some neck pain from carrying the backpack. I wonder, how are you feeling right now? Are those still bothering you?
Not at all. I went to a physiotherapist after we chatted, and he helped me also see how I was wearing my backpack and see if I could like change some things, and he helped me. But from then onwards, some days have a little bit of back pain, but not normally. I've had more of knee pain. That has been worse 3 weeks or so.
Okay, I'm sorry to hear that. How were the feet? Any blisters? Because you hadn't had any blisters since we talked last time.
That has also changed. It's not something that happens, but I have the tiny toe gets a little bit underneath the others, and I get blisters every now in that little toe. But apart from that, that's not really bothering me. So no, I'm being super lucky according to health and how am I feeling and everything. So I'm being lucky.
Okay. Well, I'm so glad to hear that, and I hope the knees ease up. We have a few questions from our listeners. So the first question is from Dave Hall, and Dave asked a question about why Jerusalem. So let's back up a little bit, because we probably have some people on the call that don't know your whole story, which I do want to say to everyone. I've interviewed Carlota, at least 2 times, and it is on our YouTube channel. So you can go back or listen on the audio podcast. But let's give everyone kind of a recap of what made you decide to take on this pilgrimage, because I think it's a beautiful story.
So basically, the reason is that I had a feeling that this was what God has placed in my heart. And that feeling was super real, super beautiful, and it gave me peace and a great feeling. So I decided to say yes to that calling. and that's the reason that I started this. And why Jerusalem? Because I felt that God was asking me, who are you looking for? And I answered, oh, Jesus. And then God was asking me, then where are you going to look for Jesus? And I said, well, Jerusalem. So for me, the concept is that I started in the end. So Finnis Terre is like the end of what was known as the end of the world a couple of centuries ago. So starting from the end, going to the beginning. So where all started, where Jesus was born, where he died, and where he performed his life. So it's like going from the end to the beginning.
And Carlota, I wanted to say to everyone, so Carlota had a fantastic job, still does. She's on a break from her job, and that is in Madrid. She has her master's degree as MBA, is that right? So she has her MBA. She had a great job. This wasn't about, from what Carlota has told me on past calls, this is not about her disliking her life or not enjoying her job. This was really a personal journey for her, and one that she, you know, felt moved to take this and figured out a way to take a leave at work. So she will be returning back to her job, we think, you know, that's how she feels at the end of this. So this was a pretty big deal. And Carlota, I wonder, for those who don't know your story, I love the story of how you told your family, particularly your parents, your mama and your papa, that you were getting ready to walk for a year. So could you share with everyone how you told them, what was going on, where all of you were when you made this announcement?
So it was the night before starting the Camino together. So I had already walked the Camino once the year before, and we organized, my parents, my brother and I, to walk the Camino together for 1 week. And it was my parents' first Camino. So I had already decided this like a month and a half before this moment. But literally, like, I didn't know how to tell my parents, because, you know, this is a huge thing. You have your job, your life, everything is going well, and you're going to tell your parents, I'm going to stop everything and I'm going to walk by myself, being a woman. So it was a hard thing to say. And during this time, I didn't go and visit my parents because they live in another city. And I didn't want to go because I felt like I only wanted to talk about this. So I said, no, I don't want to go. I tell them, like, in a good moment where we have days to, you know, like, talk about it and everything. So the night before going to the Camino, we were dining pizza, the three of us, my parents and me. And I just, like, boom, I spilled the beans, and I told them, you know, I have to tell you something. I'm going to take a year off and I'm going to pilgrimage to Jerusalem. And my poor things, they were a bit shocked. But little by little, they've been understanding what's going on. And right now, I have to say they are my biggest like followers, fans, my biggest like whenever I feel bad or happy or whatever, it's with them that I share it. And I feel like it's walking with me.
One of the things I love about this whole story is the fact that your whole family walked the Camino together, and that's where you chose to tell them. So what year was this, just to catch everybody up? When were you walking with them?
Last summer. It was last summer. It was in July 2021, and we were doing the Camino Frances from Sarria. So the last 120 kilometers, I think it's that.
Yeah. So I love how this is a family thing for your entire family. And as a mom, I always tell you, I always wonder how I would react if my daughter told me she was going to take off work for a year and walk by herself across. How many countries are you going to cross during this?
So 11.
You're crossing 11 countries? Wow, that sounds amazing. So also for those that don't know, this journey, your planned date of arrival in Jerusalem is around Christmas. Is that still on target?
That's my idea. I'd like to be there for Christmas, yes.
Okay. All right, Dave. I hope that answered your question, Dave Hall. Thank you for asking. We have another question from Adrian, and Adrian, I think, is calling from Florida. And Adrian said, do you feel more fit now than when you first began?
I have to say, lot better. Like are a lot stronger. I feel a lot stronger. But, and this is something that is curious, my body shape hasn't changed a lot, because I was
No.
expecting, always have these stupid ideas like I'm gonna get super thin, I'm gonna lose a lot of weight. It's not what I, obviously, but you feel like that's gonna happen. And when I talk to people, they're like, oh, you must have lost a lot of weight. Well, I have to say here that not at all. I haven't lost weight. My body hasn't changed a lot. It's just that I'm fit now.
Yeah, just more fit, stronger. Do you think, as far as in losing weight, has the food just been really good, or?
That's the main reason for not losing any weight. That I'm eating really good food and I'm enjoying every place's gastronomy, and that's why.
All right, so I think you were going to show us some other equipment. I think, first off, we have a question, but I think it is in French. I don't speak French. Is this right?
What town or city are you in today?
We just translated it. Somebody's asking what town and what city Carlota's in. And as a matter of principle, I never report what actual city she is in. And that is just for her safety, folks. So I'm sorry, that's just kind of a boundary that I have set along with Carlota when we first started talking about doing our lives. So we're not trying to avoid the answer. It's just really for her safety. So please understand she is in France, but we're trying to protect two things, really, her safety, and also, while she is being so kind to share her journey with us, this is a pilgrimage and it is still a personal journey, and we want to protect that. She had built quite a fan base back in Spain, and people would try to figure out where she was.
That is like, according to security, I try not to say where I am each day, and you might think it's nuts, but I've had nuts situations with following me. So, I'm close to Toulouse, so that you can imagine myself in the map. I'm on the area of Toulouse, so around there.
Toulouse, very good. Very good. Hey, I see your poles are behind you. So we were going to show some equipment that you like. So you've got your poles. Tell us a little bit about your poles and how you use them. Is it something you use all day or just at times? Give us a little idea of that pole usage.
So before doing this, I never imagined that poles were going to be something so necessary. I actually thought about bringing with me like this wooden stick that people use for the Camino.
Yes.
But I have friends that are really like have a company regarding mountain equipment and all that, and they said you should use two poles. So I started using them, and I have to say that they've been super useful for a couple of reasons. The first reason is that they help me not to fall, because it's like having four legs, like stability. When it rains, there's mud everywhere, and this mud is really like slippery and everything. So the poles are helping me not to fall when it's slippery. Also, they help me keep my body straight. So that, because with the weight of the backpack, I tend to like bend forward. So the poles help me keep standing up. And although right now it's not warm and it's not happening that much, but I tend to like get my hands a bit swollen. So the poles help. Using poles, and I recommend everyone that does the Camino to use poles. For me, great to use.
Okay, just a second. Can you still hear me?
Sure. Can you hear me?
Yeah, the volume has gone down. Hold on just a second. You need a cable for phone. Okay, just like I wasn't planning on using my phone for this, and so my battery is dying on my phone, but we're okay. We're getting that straightened out. So anyway, I wanted to say to some folks, we will be, I don't want to, you might have just missed that part, but anyway, I don't want to keep Carlota on here for too long because of course she's in the middle of a pilgrimage. So I just wanted to tell everyone that's watching right now, if you want to send some good wishes, if you want to say something to kind of cheer her on, please put that in the comments now so I can give her your messages before we hang up. So we'll just go another couple of minutes because I don't even know how long we've been on because of the video technical issues we had earlier. Let's see, we had a couple of comments. I think, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this name correctly, but I think it's Anka, said, you are building up muscle mass, Carlota. So that's why there's not necessarily weight loss because, you know, you're building up the muscles, girl. And then Dave Hall said, poles were a literal lifesaver for him. And I totally agree, Dave. I feel the same way about poles. And you know, Carlota, the yoga teacher in me is all for using 2 poles, not one of those wooden sticks. I know that that is a traditional thing, but I don't think only having one is a good idea. I think the poles are much more aerodynamic, and all the things that you said, I agree with, you know. Also, I got another comment here. Oh, Ann Bourne is on. And Carlota, you don't know Ann, but Ann is a Camino author, also US based, has walked many, many miles. And she says Ultreya to you. And she's been following your journey. And I'm so happy to see that. We also have a message from Adrian, who is sending his blessings to you. So that's so sweet. And I think Adrian said earlier that he is from Florida, so that's very sweet. We also have Maria Seco, and Maria lives in Pontevedra in Spain and is a Spanish teacher and does Spanish for the Camino. Maria, so happy to see you on tonight. And Maria says, Buen Camino to you, sending you a Buen Camino. We've got Dave Hall with a Buen Camino. Dave Hall's also US based, and he actually walked the Norte. And so he knows what you're talking about there on the Norte. We've got Anka again saying, be safe, stay healthy out there, walk in beauty, Carlota. Oh, that's so sweet. And then we got Jody Jones from Florida saying, Ultreya from Florida. So Carlota, I think this is proof you have so much support. And I know from, oh, there's been hearts going the whole call. And I know I've been getting a lot of comments back on the past videos that we've done. Oh, wait, we've got more. Ann Bourne says to you, may you arrive in peace. And anyway, I wanted to say to you, you are inspiring so many people with what you're doing. I think the uniqueness of this pilgrimage, I think your energy is so positive, and you make me want to get out there and walk again. So know that I think you are serving so many things in addition to your own personal journey. So I'm so happy to see you again.
Thank you so much, Leigh. It's always a pleasure talking to you. It's like when you have a call with your family, literally, like, so it's like energy charging.
Well, I am so happy. You know, I want to continue to follow your journey. This friendship we're forging, it really means a lot to me, and I'm always curious as to where you are. So I love seeing your posts on Instagram. I wanted to say, if you're not already following Carlota, I will put her Instagram handle on a post right after we end this, so that way you will have it. She just has a few followers. I think you're up to what, 10,000 or more followers right now?
Something like that. It's so new for me, all of what's going on. Like it's such a surprise for me how people are reacting, and so many people sending me messages like, come on, you can do this, no. And I think that, well, people don't really know how that encourages me, because I think that people think that they send a message and it's just like the message is there, but literally I read all the messages, and it's so encouraging for me to know there's so many people there sending me good vibes, praying for me. It's amazing.
Okay, we're getting more messages, so I want to make sure I do them. Davina from Almeria says, I follow Carlota. She is doing an amazing thing. All the best to you. Dave Hall's getting all fancy on me and just posted something in Spanish. Are you wanting me to read that, Dave Hall? Are you trying to test my Spanish? He knows how bad my Spanish is, Carlota, as you do as well. Let's see. I'm not even going to try. I will send it to you, Carlota. So Dave, I will send you the message you sent to her and make sure that she gets it. Are there any other comments? I think that's it for tonight. Carlota, I want to let you rest, dear. We will plan something again, hopefully in about, what do you think, the next 20 or so days, we'll try to touch base again. And until then, keep posting so we know that you're doing well and know that we're following you every step and wishing you nothing but the best.
That's so sweet from you, Leigh. I wish you all the best I wish you all the best as well. I'm going to shout a little bit because I think that you don't have really good volume. So thank you very much, and I keep you all in my prayers.
Oh, thank you. Much love to you. We'll see you soon. Buen Camino.
Bye.
Thanks everyone for coming. We'll post this as well. Keep it up. You're not far. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.